Hello friends, and welcome to Harptopia's kitchen. We are going to be making our blood Moon Bisque recipe.
Yes, this is in honor of our brand new all-original album. It's called Twin Destinies, and this was actually a stretch goal from our album Kickstarter. So thank you to everyone who backed and basically got this video and recipe for everyone.
We are so excited to make this for you. This is our own recipe, and it is so delicious.
It is.
Really quite simple.
It is quite simple.
Relatively simple. So we'll first go over the ingredients that you'll be needing. All right. 4 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons butter, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 1 large carrot sliced, 1 rib of celery sliced, 1 small or medium onion diced small, 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 2 cups vegetable broth, 1 can or about 15 ounces of beets, 14 or 15 ounces of diced tomatoes, 3 ounces tomato paste, 1/2 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and fresh basil and pepper.
All right, and now that you have your ingredients, you can get started. So the first step really is to brown your butter and your olive oil.
So first we're going to heat up the olive oil, the butter, and then we're going to saute the garlic in there.
Okay, so you want to set your pan to about a medium heat, your temperature, sorry, of your cooktop.
All right.
Let's see. So I've got the butter in there, and I think we ended up doing a tablespoon of olive
Roughly.
oil.
So this is, we tried to get the ingredients, but obviously if you want to eyeball it, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, we tend to kind of more eyeball things, but we made an effort to get everything kind of
more specifically how much we'd need.
Yes.
Oh, I think we forgot to go over the last thing we didn't get out of the refrigerator. You're going to need heavy cream.
Oh, that's
for the
right.
end.
Okay.
So you will need heavy cream. We didn't put that in the lineup, but that's because it's currently in the refrigerator, so it doesn't go bad.
Yes.
All right.
And I mean, if you have any kind of different ingredients or any of these ingredients are not really your style, then you can change up the recipe a bit. Really kind of what makes a bisque really is that creamy texture.
I guess it's like the modern bisque. I mean, traditionally
Yes.
bisque would be like have some sort of lobster or shellfish or something like that. We are personally vegetarian, and
so this is a vegetarian recipe.
It is,
yes.
it is. And so while Camille is heating up the olive oil and the butter, I actually took the beets. We just use a can of beets, and this doesn't have any added sugar, but I mean, depending on what you have available, you can use fresh beets too. But we used canned beets, and you're going to want to drain those.
Yes, and set aside all of those drained, all that drained goodness because
it's going to help
with the blood moon aspect.
At the end, kind of toward the end of the recipe, we will be using the beet juice in there. So
yes, we will.
But the beets in there is maybe not as traditional with like a tomato bisque, but this is a blood moon bisque.
Yes.
So
all right. So we've got our melted butter and olive oil. So that's pretty good there. Okay. And then after that, you'll want to put in the garlic, and you'll want to saute that garlic until it's a nice kind of golden brown. So, and if you guys use fresh garlic, you'll realize how amazing fresh garlic is.
It is
for
quite
any
a bit
dish.
of garlic, but it's so good. You can use like garlic salt or something like that, but the fresh garlic sauteed is just so delicious.
Yeah, so you can kind of let those sit in there if you're doing this by yourself. Just make sure you stir pretty frequently because you do not want to burn your garlic because burned garlic tastes not good.
And for those of you that might be wondering about this particular recipe being a blood moon bisque and it being in honor of our Twin Destinies CD, you will have to listen to the album and also read the novel, because the cool thing about our brand new, and Twin Destinies is all original music, so it's even more exciting for us, but it has a corresponding novel.
Yes, it does. It was written by New York Times bestselling author Debbie Begay, and we are kind of a fictionalized version of us is the main characters, and we play harp by night, and we fight evil
creatures by
later night.
Later night, yes. And so, but it's such a fun story.
Yes, and those who have already read and listened to the entire project realize kind of how cool the whole combination is, because I mean it's It's really a unique thing. We haven't seen anyone else do anything at
something
all
quite like this with the simultaneous book and album. And Debbie Vigay, if you haven't read her, she's a New York Times bestselling author, but if you haven't read any of her work, you need to.
Well, you can start off with Twin Destinies.
You can start with Twin Destinies, and then she has a whole slew. I think she's has 60 published novels. She is so amazing. She's just has the coolest imagination. She's such a skilled, phenomenal writer.
Yes.
And she's just an amazing person. She's the sweetest.
And so special thanks to everyone who pre-ordered the book and the album.
Yes.
It just means so much to us, especially since it's an original album. So it really means the world to us when our fans kind of come out and support our original works, because we know a lot of you found us through covers.
Yeah. So, and by the way, while Camille is working on all of that, I'm just getting this ready because we're going to be, you're going to want to blend up some of the other ingredients, which include the beets. Make sure that those are drained. I put aside the drained beet juice. The beets, the tomatoes. We're using canned tomatoes. They're from Aldi.
Yes.
If you watch any of our cooking shows, our Nordic Nummies from our Patreon series, you know how much we love Aldi.
Oh yes, we should tell them about our.
But we just used an Aldi brand. This is diced tomatoes with basil, garlic, and oregano. And
okay, so I wish you guys could smell the garlic and the butter kind of browning here, because it smells so good. Oh my goodness.
All right, and the smoked paprika, by the way, the smoked paprika is just so good in here.
Oh, yeah, you can use regular paprika, but really that's kind of one of our own twists on this.
We just love smoked paprika in general.
It's so good.
Oh, yes, we were to tell them about...
okay, so the garlic is getting pretty golden brown here, so I'm going to add the onions. Yes. Okay. So you want to add in those onions, and you can add in the carrots as well, and the celery. And then you'll want to cook those until it's kind of, the whole thing's a little bit caramelized, however you pronounce it.
So yes, I was going to say, so yeah, put in the beets. If you're not working with your twin, you might have to do one at a time, but the beets, the tomatoes, and then the paprika and the salt, just a small amount of both of those, but it's so good. And then that will be ready because we're going to take that whole sauteed mixture and we're going to be putting it into the blender as well, blending all of that and then sending it back into the same pan to cook. So.
Okay, so what you want to do is you kind of want to let this mixture, now that it's you've added in your carrots and your celery and your onions, you want to let that kind of sit there until it's all brown. The onions will get kind of transparent, translucent.
And you don't have to actually stir it super often.
No, in fact, it's kind of nice because then the butter and stuff has a chance to kind of caramelize in the edges, I guess would be the correct terminology.
Okay, so yeah, you don't need to stir it too
So
often.
basically, just make sure that you're.
Did you put in the flour yet? Or are you gonna wait on that?
I did not. I'm gonna wait on the flour.
All right.
Yes.
It's just a little bit of flour, but it adds, I don't know, a little something
So
extra.
while we're waiting, we'll tell you guys about our Harp Twins home concert series, because right now,
well, the last public cooking video we made, that was our first one, and we did Harp Attack in a Pan.
Yes, and that was in honor of our Harp Attack 4 album, and it was, again, it was a stretch goal for our Kickstarter for the album.
That is so delicious. If you haven't seen our cooking video for Harp Attack in a Pan, you can see it on the same channel.
Yes. But anyway, after that we started kind of a branch off of our home concert series called Nordic Nummies.
And so we start off each concert with a little, with a mini cooking segment. Actually, I shouldn't even say mini because they're varying lengths, but we start here in Harptopia's kitchen and we make a recipe. We make a special recipe that we've kind of prepared specially for our concert watchers. And then we head into Harptopia's harp room and we play a mini concert of music, usually 5 or 6 songs.
Yes, and actually we have played now, I believe, over 120 different songs for the series. So
for our Harp Twins home
concert series.
And then so we're up to dozens of episodes.
Yes, but we're up to 12 episodes already for the Nordic Nummies kind of offshoot.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's been a blast. We were thinking about kind of going for a year with Nordic Nummies, but our listeners have been, our watchers, I should say, have been really enjoying it.
So if you enjoy our music live and you also enjoy this cooking video here, if you join our Patreon page, at the backstage tier,
backstage
or
each year. You can watch those concerts, and we actually release a couple archived concerts each month, so you can watch. You and your household can watch several,
like 3 different concerts every month.
Yeah,
and plus tons of behind the scenes concert content. We have like behind the scenes videos, photos, bloopers, and we have lots of other stuff like our live.
We have live chats, yeah,
and chair chat.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of fun goodies, but we've been really enjoying the cooking segments of this. It's just something kind of unique, and we have fun theming each concert. So like sometimes we'll have like we did kind of a tropical dish, and then we had a sea themed concert, like songs of the sea.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that was a blast.
How's it looking?
It is looking good. The onions are starting to cook pretty well. So you can probably imagine what this smells like. We have a nice camera angle from right up there.
It smells so good.
Oh my goodness gracious. And I also want to encourage you, even if you're not like a chef and you're a little intimidated by cooking, this is really not a hard dish, and it's honestly like you can't really mess it up too badly.
I was going to bang this against the pan, and then I was like, that was going to be annoyingly loud. So
we need to have those little like cooking or drop down mics like they do for professional shows, but this is not a professional
This
show.
is Harptopia, and we're I guess we just old school.
Yeah, this is, you get what you get, but we actually kind of we worked on this recipe a bit because we wanted to really make it a fun, actually blood moon recipe. And kind of when you have these bisques, when you're adding in the cream, it dilutes the color of it a bit. So we had fun kind of experimenting with ways to
make it a little more bloody.
A little darker.
A little darker.
Oh, and we forgot to tell you guys that the first step actually is to hit your playlist for your favorite Harp Twins music.
Oh yes. So if you
that's the first step of any cooking.
Any cooking is to play Harp Twins music first. So whether it's a CD, if you're old school, we still sell CDs, or Spotify, or any other streaming site you are on.
Look up Harp Twins, you'll find us.
Find our music, hit play, and then you can start making your recipe.
And then you'll properly set the mood. For this particular concert, you actually could play the Twin Destinies album if you wanted to.
And then afterward, make sure you read the book. As you enjoy your Blood Moon Bisque, you can read the Twin Destinies Blood Song novel.
And then you'll visualize the cover that has the blood moon on it.
I was about to say, the blood moon is a very it's a big part of the kind of theme of this first book,
which is very fitting because the kind of the monster that we're fighting, our characters are fighting in this novel and in the album, are vampires. So
it's cool because even many of our fans that don't necessarily consider themselves to be big readers, we have been hearing just 100% positive reviews about the book.
Yes.
How much people are enjoying it.
We have to say that the most unusual reading method we have currently heard of is we have one listener, one supporter, who reads books backwards.
Yes.
So this person has been reading the book from back to front.
I don't know if we would necessarily recommend that for everyone.
Yeah.
I think it's a very specific reading style.
Yeah, I feel like maybe your mind has to work in a very specific way. So maybe if you're, I don't know, or if you like puzzles.
But they said they really enjoyed the end of the book. That it was very satisfying.
They use the word satisfying for the end of the book.
It is a very satisfying book. And it's an album, and you can the full experience is reading the novel and listening to the album.
Yes, I really dislike reading or watching or listening to stuff that isn't satisfying. You really want to have that ending where you're like, yes.
It was so much fun to work on this with Debbie. But
guys, look at this. I'm going to show. The upper camera will be able to see it, but it looks so good. It's starting to brown very, very nicely. So I'm not going to stir it too much. It's tempting. It's tempting. Tara, do not eat that up. Can I? Hey.
Cannot just.
I
had
to burn your mouth now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I would not recommend eating the ingredients.
It's cooking well so far. I can confirm that. That was for purposes of testing what is happening so far.
So cut out that segment of the video so we don't set that example for watchers.
It was one small slice.
It's looking really, really
not going to
good.
affect the overall recipe.
Yes, it's looking really good, guys. And so you'll see at the end, but when you set aside the beet juice, it's actually going to be used to kind of a little bit is going to go in when we
this mixture is going to go into the blender. We're going to blend that all up, put it back into the pan, and after that, while it's cooking, we're going to add the vegetable broth and some of the beet juice.
Yes, but then you want to save aside some for the end because that'll help kind of, bloody it up.
And we'll be adding some heavy cream. You can use half and half, but it just makes
part of the bisque magic.
It does. It makes it so creamy and delicious, and I will just consider it clouds.
Yes, it'll be clouds. The clouds
a little bit.
They'll somewhat cover the moon, the bisque moon.
It's not only delicious, but it's actually very pretty.
Yeah, and it's cool because since bulls are all around, that represents the blood moon. It's perfect.
And I don't know if a lot of people add beets into their tomato bisque. Probably not that many, but it's so delicious. It actually really.
It's actually nice because tomatoes are kind of acidic, and so when you add in the beets, which even if the beets we're using do not have sugar added, but even with no sugar added, they have a natural sweetness to the vegetable.
It's really good, and I think even if you're not like a beet person,
it doesn't taste like beets. Don't worry.
It's still delicious. So
yes.
Now, if you're not a tomato person, then I guess we can't really help you there.
I think we are about ready here.
Okay.
So now that your mixture is slightly browned, you're going to want to add in that all-purpose flour, about 2 tablespoons, give or take, something like that. And then you'll want to mix that in until the mixture is kind of nice. The flour adds a little bit of a thickening ingredient to your veggies and your bisque. So you'll see that, you probably can see from the upward angle there that the veggies kind of browned now. So then you are pretty much ready to get those into.
You're going to want to add your vegetable, garlic, yummy mixture into what you've already put into your blender.
So I might try to just kind of scoopy this into here.
Okay. Do you want any help here?
It's okay.
It's nice to have a sous chef when you're.
We have been over this,
head chef,
and I'm actually not the sous chef. Kennerly is actually.
You can tell she's doing more of the assistant.
Well, this is not the assistant. This is what I would call the heavy lifting.
Do you want me to get any more of it in there? Okay. So this is nice if you have a twin to help with that. There we go. You can just leave this in here because it's basically just some sautéed garlic.
But if you want it really all mixed up properly, do you want to get that off of the little spoon?
Yeah,
we don't like wasting ingredients. And now you don't have to wash your pan or anything if there's a little caramelized goodness left in there.
Use the same pan.
That is perfectly fine. Yes. That's great. And so that way you don't dirty up more pans.
All right.
Okay. All right. Now I think while this is actually going, you will from at home will magically hear maybe a lovely blood moon dawning. That'd probably be good.
That'd be great.
Okay. So you guys ready for blood moon dawning?
Let's start small.
Okay. Start small. Going to stop and mix it up a little bit. Don't worry, we're going to get back to your song. We know you've all been enjoying.
So much better than a grinder.
Yeah,
so much better. Okay,
it'd be a great invention. A blender that plays
Harp Twins music.
Okay. All right.
Put everyone in a much better mood.
Okay. And cue the music. We've got all of the edge
right there. All right.
Okay.
We have some rogue celery. So.
I think we are pretty good. What do you think, Kennerly? smell good?
It smells good. It smells good. It smells good.
However, it's only lukewarm now because not very many degrees were hot. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to put this back into the pan. Now I turned off the stove, so we're gonna want to turn that back on in just a second here.
Maybe
I
like
see
a
a little piece of something not good there.
All right. I think it'll live anyway. So you're gonna want to add in your vegetable broth as well.
Yes. Okay. I'll try to get the.
Just about 2 cups. It's actually not this entire bin. This is only 2 cups in here. We used half of it with another recipe. So
Okay.
about 2 cups of
Yeah,
vegetable
about
broth.
2 cups. And if you are a carnivore, you can also use like chicken broth or. And now you will stir it. Start stirring. Get that all mixed up. Oh, watch out for that popping. The molten lava here.
I pour in a little bit
Okay.
of
Of the beet juice.
about
There
half a
you
cup,
go.
give or take.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to stir that in a little bit. You'll be able to see from the upper camera angle that it is getting a lovely, lovely red there.
So good.
Perfect.
And so this is going to cook for how long would you say? Like
I don't
five
know, probably about 5 minutes, I would say.
or so.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick break. Come back in 5 minutes.
Yes,
It's going to be
and
delicious.
you'll see us soon. And welcome back. It is almost done. We are getting a nice little bubbly mixture here, and it is smelling so delicious. Okay, I'm going to turn
good.
off the stove here. We've got a couple bowls,
And we did get the heavy whipping cream
Yes.
out of the fridge. So
Yeah.
probably was good that we had it in there just for,
Yeah, I mean it is cream, so it's good to be cautious. Okay.
Let's see.
So we have got, I'm going to fill these a little bit more. It looks so good.
Okay, so we're gonna want to add in.
All right, so we'll put a little beet juice in first. Looks good. You can kind of do in the center and do it slowly. All right, perfect. And then we're going to do some of this heavy cream. And we've got plenty to use, so.
All right.
All right, so we're going to use some of this heavy cream.
And this really is to taste and to look,
Yes.
depending on what you're going for. Okay, we're gonna get some spoons too, so we can give this a try.
Yes. Oh, it looks so good.
It's so good, guys.
Okay, so there's some clouds over the moon.
blood moon.
Yes. Okay, we'll get some more here. Actually, some more clouds.
All
More
right.
clouds here.
Here's a spoon for you.
More clouds here. It's gonna be hot though, so we'll have to be careful.
Okay. All right. It's okay. It's a little bit better with beet juice than with this.
All right. Okay. So I
Here
think
we go.
I'm not sure if that camera can see us, but I think
Okay.
this one can. Or we can go
Blood
back.
moon. Blood moon bisque, everyone.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
give
give
it a try.
Oh, it is so good.
Oh my goodness, guys! I hope you actually try this. It is so
Yes.
good.
Oh my goodness. Oh look, I just kind of stirred up my clouds a little bit. Oh my goodness.
So cheers. We hope you enjoy Blood Moon Bisque. Thanks for joining us in Harptopia's kitchen.
Oh, we forgot you can garnish it too.
Oh, you can garnish it. We'll do that for a little pretty photo.
Yeah, maybe
so.
some basil.
Some
Yes.
fresh basil. Oh, forgot one thing.
Oh, yes, that's right. Can't forget some cracked pepper.
Ooh, that looks even better.
They're like little. This is dust on the moon.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, one more test. Delicious.
Blood Moon Bisque. Thanks for joining us in Harptopia's kitchen, and we will see you next time. Bye.